Decoded.
Welcome, curious minds, to another Book Decoded episode.
Great to be here.
Today, we're cracking open a really fascinating book, Angus Fletcher's Primal Intelligence. You are smarter than you know.
It's quite the title, isn't it?
It really is. Have you ever felt like, with all the data and algorithms everywhere, you're maybe losing touch with your gut feeling, that basic human smartness?
Absolutely. That feeling that maybe modern life is kind of optimizing the human out of intelligence.
Exactly. And that's right where Fletcher jumps in.
He does. He argues that we're often overlooking this deep inherent intelligence. It's something he calls primal intelligence. And apparently it's powerful stuff, even tested by U.S. Army Special Operations.
Wow, okay. Special ops. That definitely grabs your attention. So if we're kind of stuck in this logic loop, how do we tap into this real-life smart way of thinking Fletcher talks about? What's the key?
Well, the core idea he presents is something called storythinking. It's a big one.
It's like storythinking. Okay.
Yeah, we tend to think intelligence is all about logic, right? Calculating probabilities based on what's happened before.
There, makes sense.
But Fletcher says the human brain actually thinks more fundamentally in story. Logic tells you what's probable. Story, though. Story creates what's possible.
Ah, okay. Probable versus possible. That's a really interesting distinction.
It's huge. It's the engine for innovation, for adapting when things get messy, for resilience, basically.
How do we, switch that engine on? If story thinking is the system, what are the actual powers?
Right. Fletcher breaks it down into 4 main primal powers. The first one is intuition.
Okay, intuition, like a gut feeling.
Sort of, but it's more specific. It's about spotting the exception, the thing that doesn't fit the pattern. He uses Van Gogh as an example.
Van Gogh, how so?
Well, Van Gogh apparently noticed this odd visual clash between red and cyan that others ignored. It was an exception. And chasing that led to the Starry Night, and even kind of anticipated the RGB color wheel we use now.
So intuition is about seeing the blip that everyone else dismisses as noise.
Exactly. Don't ignore the exceptions. Chase them. That's where new plots, new possibilities hide.
Okay, I like that. Chase the exceptions. What's next?
Next up is imagination. And Fletcher defines this as seeing things that the eyes don't see. It's about planning for the future, even when you don't have all the info.
Going low data, kind of.
Precisely. He says a good plan isn't rigid. It's one why joined to many what-ifs. Think Beethoven's Fifth.
Okay. How does Beethoven fit in?
Well, you have that clear driving theme, the why. But then there's just this incredible dynamic exploration of possibilities, of the what-ifs. It's strategy and tactics all woven together.
One why, many what-ifs. That's a great framework for planning. But thinking about these powers, what about emotions? We're often told emotions get in the way of good decisions.
See, Fletcher flips that completely. He argues your emotions, fear, anger, grief, shame, they aren't noise. They're critical intelligence, your internal GPS.
An internal GPS, how does that work?
Well, think about it. Fear often signals, I don't have a plan, right? It pushes you to make one. Anger, interestingly, he says, prompts us to develop second plans, backup options. It fuels flexibility.
Okay, so anger isn't just destructive. It can push you to prepare better.
Potentially, yeah. And grief or shame, they might signal a disconnect with your past actions or self-image, telling you maybe your internal story needs a rewrite.
That's a really practical way to look at them. So how do we use this if I'm feeling, say, angry or overwhelmed?
He suggests an emotion reset. For anger, try recalling a time you successfully made a quick, effective plan under pressure. It reminds you you can handle it.
Right, accessing past successes.
Exactly. And for grief or shame, look for a positive plot twist in your own life story. Find evidence that things can turn out okay, that you can succeed. It builds optimism.
Find the positive plot twist. I like that. Okay, so we have intuition, imagination, emotion. What's the last one?
The fourth is common sense. But not just everyday logic. It's specifically about knowing when you don't know. It detects unknown unknowns.
The things you don't even know you don't know.
Right. It's the alarm bell telling you the situation has changed so much that your old maps, your old plans just aren't reliable anymore.
That sounds crucial, but maybe a bit anxiety-inducing. How do you manage that?
Fletcher suggests tuning it with now plus one.
Yeah.
Don't get lost worrying about the distant future. Focus only on the immediate next step and its direct what-ifs.
Just the next step.
Yeah. Keep it grounded. He points to people like James Simons running his hedge fund or Neil Armstrong improvising the moon landing. They focused on the immediate problem, the next what-if, without getting paralyzed by the bigger picture.
Now, plus one. Okay, simple but powerful. So, wrapping this all together, intuition, imagination, emotion, common sense. It's about embracing these innate abilities.
Exactly. Shedding those assumptions that only logic matters. These powers are already in you, and they work best together. They make you more perceptive, more agile, more effective in the real world.
It's about reclaiming a more complete, more human form of intelligence, really.
That's the heart of it. Remembering how your brain is actually designed to navigate life.
So, a final thought for everyone listening. What's a rule in your own life, maybe at work or home, that might actually be an exception just waiting for you to notice it?
Yeah. And how could chasing that little blip potentially change your own story in a big way?
Something definitely worth thinking about.